Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 6:46. I want to call the meeting to order. And we've had the open house earlier this evening, and we're going to continue on with the regular council meeting now. When we opened up the regular meeting, or before, we added 3 items to the agenda. One was the addition of the public hearing, which was not on the agenda, but it's recorded. And 5.4 is going to be resolution 2022-09-20-210 for discussion. The second item is the appointment of the Deputy Director of Emergency Management. So we need to appoint someone for that. So, with that being said, I have nothing else to add to the agenda, but I would like our CAO to have a few words, please.
First of all, I want to welcome everybody here tonight. It's really important to get the support of all of you. But I need to remind you of a few things. This is a council meeting. Municipal Affairs says we have to hold our council meeting in public, but the public is here as observers, not participants. So we do allow here in Ryley the open mic. So if you have any questions or issues, please keep them to the time that we have the open mic. And the best way to be heard is to be asked to put on the agenda as a delegation, or to come and speak to me about the issues that you have, and I know you will be heard. The other thing we'd like to point out is that if anyone makes a rude or defamatory comment, they will be immediately asked to leave the premises.
Okay. Thank you very much, Julie. Okay, so okay, the next item up then is, oh, pardon me, I got a motion here. Okay, I'll make this motion. Moved by myself that council for the village of Ryley resolves to determine by motion at the commencement of each regular council meeting pursuant to the Municipal Government Act S.174 whether any part or whole absence by a councillor from that regular council meeting is authorized. This motion recognizes that such a resolution can be rescinded by council any time before the minutes of that meeting are approved, so long as an excusable reason for absence can be found by council. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. How are we doing, Good?
So far, so good.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. And then I'll make a second motion. Therefore, moved by myself that council determines that the absence of Councillor Nick Lee from this regular council meeting is not authorized.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And I will make one more motion. All in favor? Sorry, thank you. And I'll make one more motion. Moved by Councillor myself that council determines that the absence of Councillor Nola Herrick from this regular council meeting is not authorized.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Jessica, if we're going too fast, please let us know. So far, so good? Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to the adoption of previous meeting minutes. We have to apologize. The minutes of the meetings from September through December 22, we cannot approve them as they are. Julie and I went through them today again, and there's just too many errors on them. So we're going to put them off till the next meeting, and we are very hopeful that we will have them ready by then. Am I correct in saying that? Okay. We can approve, if all is well, the minutes of the regular meeting of council held February 21st. Are there any errors or omissions on that? Yes.
I'd like to request an amendment that Nikita Lee as mayor and Noah Winberg as deputy mayor do not show as regrets, but they show as absent.
Okay.
You're not approving of February 21st?
As, well, I'm just.
Just
taking
for
that.
that.
This is on February 21st, yes. Any other errors or omissions? Okay, I have one. Lindy Nickel should be, okay, no, that's, pardon me, that's good. I still have one. 3 items B, C, and D, underneath resolution number 2023-02, 21-2, should be numbered as discussed. Okay. And, okay,
Okay, so,
So-
Councilor Nichols, you want to do a motion to amend
Yeah, where it says regrets.
the regrets?
Okay, change to absent.
And then, sorry, Mayor Disha, was that you put that one through the ABCD?
yeah, the B, yeah. Items B, C, and D should be numbered. So that means all the rest of them on the following pages will have to be adjusted accordingly. So Julie, we can approve those ones as amended, right?
Yeah, if we should, just mention the minutes and then we'll make a motion to accept February 21 as amended.
So I'll move that our minutes of the 21st of February meeting are accepted as amended.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, the next one we'll look at is, the meeting of March the 20th, 2023 at 6:45. Yeah, we didn't really get a chance
Okay.
to go through that one, so
Sorry.
we'll leave that one go.
Okay.
We'll bring that one back at the next council meeting. So on this, any errors?
Yep, the same that was on here, was the, regrets. Nikita Lee and Norwood Herrick, that should be changed to absent, please.
Any other?
Let's see. Did you have it?
I have one. Up at the top where it says counselor, Linda Nickel, that should be deputy mayor.
Okay.
I think call to order is used.
Yes, it was.
Amend that one, so I remember one call to order from Councilor Nickel to Mayor.
Okay, so now we can, approve those ones as amended. Okay, I will make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you very much. All in favor? Okay. And also the minutes, special minutes, meeting of council held 7th of March. We will bring them back at the next council meeting for approval. Okay, there are no delegations, at least I have not heard of any. No. Am I correct, Celia? Okay. So the next one will go on to business from previous minutes. From the CEO, I'd like a report on the employee termination.
So at the February 21 meeting, I was asked to look into the circumstances of the terminations of 2 employees. After reviewing the circumstances of the termination of 2 employees of the Village of Ryley, I have confirmed that 2 councillors did influence and direct the decision to terminate employment of both employees. I am recommending that council conduct code of conduct hearings. Particulars and details are protected under the Privacy Act and were provided to council.
Okay, so we'll be discussing that probably in camera, where we proceed with that.
The 2 girls' lives are destroyed because of it?
Okay, no, legally it was done correctly.
Oh, come on. Morally and ethically, everybody in this building knows it wasn't.
We all know that.
You just, yeah, and that's why, and the CEO already pointed that out. So if you're going to continue, you have to leave.
Yeah. Well,
Please keep it.
make it different,
Please
make it
leave.
different, but it's still the
Please
same.
leave, thank you.
Shut your mouth.
Okay? You're barred from a council meeting, ever.
You can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can, just watch. And also, just for your information, Mr. Hills, our policy, procedural bylaw says that you cannot, do electronic recording, in particular because we are. So I'd like you to please turn it off.
I will not be doing that. I'm perfectly capable, I'm well within my rights to do so.
We do not want two different videos up on the screen. We
Well,
have one.
The
that
government
is
doesn't have
legitimate.
control over public meetings, and that's
Okay.
partially why the public is allowed to do that sort of thing.
Jason, I'm not gonna argue.
Good, then let's not argue, let's carry on with the
Do
meeting.
you want to read that procedural bylaw? I don't have the procedural bylaw. It's a procedural bylaw that's been passed by council, and it is our laws that we live by. 6.11, if I'm not mistaken.
So, general rules of council meetings, 6.11, use of electronic recording devices of any kind during council meetings by any person is not permitted unless authorized by a resolution of council.
So I'm gonna ask you again to please turn it off.
I will not.
Then I'm gonna ask you to leave.
You're going to ask me to leave because I'm recording a public meeting?
Yes,
That's why you're asking me to leave?
that's correct.
Because you're breaking the procedural rules.
Bylaw.
Okay, I don't agree to that, and I refuse. We can have you removed,
Yeah.
either way.
The choice is yours. I can call a meeting agenda for now and have you removed, if you, that's the way you want to do it.
You have my position.
And you have ours.
Very good.
Let's take a recess and remove.
Yep. We'll have take a recess, a 10-minute recess until we have, okay?
They have to pass.
Oh, can I have a motion to take a recess?
Motion.
Okay, thank you very much. All in favor, second? Rudy? Second motion? Okay. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Lindy, did you vote against? Okay, thank you. It's carried. CEO, could you make the call, please, to the RCMP to have them removed? Yes.
Well, you know, just, you
It's
know
a
what, I
recess.
think, can we recess a minute and we might have to think this through, just hang on.
Okay. Does the three of us wanna take a recess
Yeah.
and go into a?
Yeah, please.
He's taking a position in agricultural education. He'll come up. He'll come.
He's a little late.
Nice to meet you. Jason Hill.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order, and you are allowed to continue, and I apologize.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. 5.2, request for decision, FCSS.
Background information. Ryley Council suspended the Ryley Family and Community Support Services Board of Directors in 2022. Ryley administration understands it is the will of council to rescind the suspension of the Ryley FCSS board. As such, administration approached all directors of the suspended board to seek their interest in returning when the board is reset as operational. Two public at large directors have tendered their resignations, thereby leaving two remaining public at large directors, plus the appointed council director, for a total of 3 remaining. The Ryley FCSS bylaw requires a minimum of 5 directors on the board. Council received a recommendation from the Ryley FCSS board to appoint a new public at large director to replace another public at large director that moved away and resigned. Council had not made that appointment before suspending the Ryley FCSS board. All authority, bylaws, policies, and agreements are in place to re-establish and unsuspend the board to again govern the Ryley FCSS. Council will need to appoint 2 public at large directors for the board to become operational pursuant to the Ryley FCSS bylaw that requires a minimum of 5 directors. Administration recommends that council considers ratifying and extending the tenure of the current 2 public at large directors to 2024 to account for the suspended time. The normal tenure is 2 years from Ryley FCSS organizational meetings. These original board directors would have a tenure expiry of 2023, 2 years from their appointment in 2021. The Chief Administrative Officer will staff the position of Ryley FCSS Program Director in consideration of recommendations from the Ryley FCSS Board until a Program Director has been hired and appointed. Ryley administration will carry out the duties of the Program Director under the direction of the CAO. These are the draft motions. That Councillor moves that the Village of Ryley establish terms of reference and a bylaw for the operation of a Ryley Family and Community Support Services Program and the creation of FCSS Board of Directors to govern the Ryley FCSS program. And whereas Council for the Village of Ryley acknowledges that the Ryley FCSS Governing Board is indefinitely suspended in '22, and whereas Council for the Village of Ryley desires that the Ryley FCSS return to full operational status under a Ryley FCSS Governing Board of Directors pursuant to the Ryley FCSS bylaw. Now therefore, Council for the Village of Ryley hereby rescinds any and all resolutions that suspended or suppressed the Governing Board of the Ryley FCSS and directs administration to support and enact the immediate operation of the Ryley FCSS under the governance of the Ryley FCSS Board pursuant to all village bylaws, policies, and terms of reference, and pursuant to the agreement between the Province of Alberta and the Village of Ryley. That's the first.
Okay. Can you like to make that motion?
I think that it's very important that we have an FCSS in our town, so I would like to make that motion.
Okay, thank you very much.
Second.
I will second it. All in favor? Carried. Okay.
The second resolution is that a council move that whereas the Council for the Village of Ryley received a recommendation from the Ryley Family and Community Support Services Board to appoint Ms. Cynthia Heslin to the Ryley FCS Board of Directors before the board was suspended, and whereas Ms. Cynthia Heslin has recently expressed her continued desire to be a director of the Ryley FCS Board, now therefore, Council for the Village of Ryley hereby appoints Ms. Cynthia Heslin as a director to the Ryley FCSS Board, effective immediately under the FCSS organizational meeting.
Okay. I will make that motion.
No, go ahead.
You, Lindy?
Yeah,
You
second,
second it?
yeah.
Okay.
Cindy, you accept?
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Cindy.
Couple more.
Okay.
Move that whereas the Council for the Village of Ryley desires that the Ryley Family and Community Support Services Board have a minimum of 5 directors pursuant to the Ryley FCSS bylaw, and whereas there exists currently only 4 directors of the FCSS Board because of the resignations, and whereas the Village of Ryley has requested that Mr. Mickey Wilson, the former Ryley FCSS Program Director, consider being a director of the Ryley FCSS Board, and Mr. Wilson has accepted this request. Now therefore, Council for the Village of Ryley hereby appoints Mr. Mickey Wilson as a director to the Ryley FCS Board effective immediately until the FCSS organizational meeting of 2024.
Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll move that.
Okay. Any discussion on any of these motions? All in favor?
I'll second
Yeah, thank you, Sheldon. All in favor? Carried.
One more. Move that whereas Council for the Village of Ryley desires that the Ryley Family and Community Support Services Board have a minimum of 5 directors pursuant to the FCSS bylaw, and whereas the board has been suspended and inactive for an indefinite period, now therefore Council for the Village of Ryley hereby confirms and ratifies that Ms. Kate Rokos and Ms. Kaylee Hoffman are directors appointed to the Ryley FCSS Board, and that their tenure is to be extended until the Ryley FCSS organizational meeting of 2024. And therefore, Council for the Village of Ryley hereby recognizes that there are 2 additional board vacancies on the Ryley FCSS Board pursuant to the Ryley FCSS bylaw that requires a minimum of 5 and allows for a maximum of 7 directors on the board.
I'll make that motion.
Sheldon, thank you. Okay, any discussion, maybe what we should do here, I don't know if this is more of a directive, but maybe advertise for 2 more directors on the board.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay, Highway 14.
I'm gonna do a lot of talking tonight.
Yeah, yes you are.
Better some water.
Nothing new.
So this is the background. The Ryley Water Distribution System is a system of pipes, valves, meters, hydrants, and the reservoir that hold and convey water from the transmission pipeline along Highway 14 to the residents, services, and businesses within the village of Ryley. The Ryley Water Distribution System was purchased from the village in 1992 for $65,835 by Highway 14 Regional Water Services Commission. Water that is delivered by Highway 14 water from the water transmission system along Highway 14 feeds the Ryley Water Distribution System. It is important to consider the system and the service as 2 distinct things. The service is a provision of water that runs inside the system. Ryley residents buy water from Highway 14. Highway 14 Water owns and manages the Ryley Water Distribution System and uses it to deliver water as a service. Highway 14 Water charges customers a distribution fee for operation and maintenance of the Ryley Water Distribution System. In a similar manner, Ryley resident customers also pay a transmission fee for operation and maintenance of the transmission pipeline that runs along highway from Strathcona County. The village of Ryley and Highway 14 had a franchise agreement in place from 1992 until 2022. Highway 14 Water exercised their option to end the franchise on August 7, 2022. The water franchise agreement permitted Highway 14 Water to operate their water delivery business through Ryley in the same manner that Fortis or APCO have franchise agreements with the village to operate their business to deliver their products to Ryley residents. Currently, Highway 14 Water is operating their business in perpetuity to the canceled franchise agreement, that is, without a franchise agreement. The towns of Viking and Tofield own their own water distribution system. As such, they do not have a franchise agreement with Highway 14 Water. Instead, they purchase bulk water from the transmission line and operate their own water distribution service or business. There has been historical friction amongst commission partners. The 2 town partners have perceived that the village partners have drawn more than their share of the financial assets and capital because the commission has had to pay for water distribution system maintenance. As a business, Highway 14 collects distribution fees from village residents or customers, whereas Highway 14 Water does not receive distribution revenue from the towns because Highway 14 Water does not manage the town distribution systems and do not provide water to the residents. In these cases, the towns of Viking and Tofield operate and manage their water distribution systems and provide water to their residents as customers of the town water service. The village partners have perceived that their water distribution systems have not been adequately managed, forcing higher distribution fees on their residents. Further, the village has faced friction from the town partners when standing up to highlight that it is the responsibility of Highway 14 Water to properly maintain the distribution system. The recommendation is that Council for the Village of Ryley directs administration to develop a plan to pursue a water supply agreement with Highway 14 Regional Water Services Commission, such that the Village of Ryley operates in the same manner as the town partners of Tofield and Viking, thereby adopting a similar relationship between the municipality and the commission.
Any discussion? Any comments?
What is the cost of this to the village
The cost of planning.
if we were to do that the same as the towns of Viking?
That's what the plan is all about. We don't know what the financial repercussions are gonna be, and we're not gonna move forward until we know
What those
what those
repercussions are?
repercussions are. Yeah.
No. Okay, so I myself am in favor of having the same agreement as Hopefield and Viking. There's lots of work to do to make that type of agreement occur. First of all, we need an assessment of our, just to kind of give everybody an idea, an assessment of what are the condition of our pipes. We know that every time we go down there, we dig, there's a problem with the pipes. So we need to know what the condition of all the pipes are in the village, and then proceed onward with that. So there's other things too that need to be done. We need to know how much maintenance was done on these pipes in the village, how much the cost for it, what we've paid. So there's lots and lots of information that is still required for us to make a decision. But I think that to have the same type of agreement as Hopefield and Viking is the way forward. Sheldon? Any comments?
Well, I think we do need a lot more information before we actually make a decision on which way to go. So I think we should direct administration to, do we maybe need to have a sit down with the commission themselves?
Yeah, it definitely will be part of the plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be part of the plan.
Yeah.
And then we get it, so to say, from the horse's mouth. We're not getting it from everybody that has an idea of what's going on. We actually get what is going on and where exactly we're at. And I know Michael will explain that to us. And I think that's kind of what we need to go right away. It may not be a long conversation.
Yeah.
But what we need to do is have that conversation.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're gonna make that motion?
Yep, I can make the motion.
Okay. First, oh, sure, any other comments on it regards, before we move on? Okay,
Good.
okay, I'll, second that motion. All in favor? So Michael, at last, we're gonna be moving forward on.
And it's just timely. Just one correction is we didn't cancel the 2022, it expired in 2012. We haven't had an agreement since 2012. And that's the problem with Sheldon, what we're always talking about. Yeah, I talked to Newchurch, I talked to you guys, you know this, Sheldon, we wanna do the best. I live here, so everything I do is gonna affect my rates. But there's a lot of different plans we could do. We don't have to follow their format, but we'll see, and once we do this, we also have, the other towns that are behind us that are smaller yet too, so this will be a good thing. And like I said, we just try to move forward, we just
Let's do that.
banging our heads, Sheldon, right?
Yeah, and that's what this plan is all about, is to move
Yeah,
forward.
and I'll meet with you guys anytime, you know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Michael.
So Julie, maybe you can set something up
Sure.
for us, because there's a lot of information, a lot of questions that we need to ask Michael, and there's a couple things maybe I'll come and talk to you, and we'll, information I think we'd like to have before that meeting.
All the information I can get is gonna be great.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And thanks, Michael, for.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. The next item is resolution 2022-09-20-210. And you know what, I don't have a copy. Do you have a copy of it? I had it and I left it at home this afternoon when I come here.
I do not. Which meeting was it?
2022, not September 20th. I'll see if I can.
To allocate $15,000.
Yes, that's the one.
1,500.
15,000.
What? Oh, I thought it was 1,500.
Yeah, do you want to read that motion out loud, please, Lindy?
Yep, moved by Nick Lee that council instruct administration to allocate $15,000 for the emergent employment issue fund, and that a general ledger number be assigned to that moving forward in the
I would like to have, that resolution removed, or how would we go about that? Rescinded? What are your thoughts on that, council?
What was the context for this to
The
come
con-
out?
Okay, I can tell you what the context was. The context was for, I guess this is, when for an employee that passed away and had no health care benefits or anything else, and the motion was made to put money aside should there be another employee that passed away, and needs some help. I don't know if any of that 15,000 was spent or not. I have absolutely no idea. But I would like to rescind that motion so that that is not done.
Do we have life insurance available for it?
Well, this, if you don't mind me interjecting, Mr. Mayor, is that I feel that the Village of Ryley offers a very comprehensive health benefit. And, I don't feel that it should be like on the books forever, you know, if the money was spent on this person that passed away,
It's done.
I'm happy with that. But to have it on the book as a GL and have something that moves forward, when we have a good plan and the policies say that everyone should be on the plan, I think we're offering a good enough, plan for them should something terrible happen. So as much as, like I said, I agree that if this person needed help, the village should help, but not to have it on the book as a perpetual thing.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
This would be considered a self-directed or self-funded insurance plan, basically? So
No, it would be funded by the Village of Ryley.
That's what it is. That's what that means.
Okay,
But it's self-funded by the village, whereas we already have that, so I'm gonna agree that we should go and rescind that.
okay. I will make that motion then to rescind that, motion 2022-09-20-210. Can I have a seconder?
Second that?
Okay. Lindy, all in favor? Carried.
I think it would be a little different if we weren't offering a very comprehensive,
Yeah.
and for people to opt out of that, that's their choice then.
Yeah.
I think if you have it on your books as a mandate.
It's a
you have
policy,
to-
yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
They're supposed to take it and,
Yeah.
no, it was not taken, so. So,
Okay.
okay. Next item, 5.5. Deputy Director of Emergency Management. Julie, you wanna explain this one?
It's gonna sound a little self.
I know. I know.
I would like for the council to appoint the CAO, me, Julie Brownridge, as the Deputy Director of Emergency Management.
Any discussion? Okay. You wanna make that motion?
Yep, I'm gonna make the
Shall we?
motion.
Okay,
You betcha.
I'll second.
thank you. All in favor? Carried.
Excuse me? I had a question about that motion. Is that position going to be part of the CAO's position, or is that the person?
No, it's part of that.
Historically, it's all the CAOs of all the towns and villages around here that are appointed as the Deputy Director of Emergency Services.
So it's linked to the position,
It
not,
is linked
not-
to the position.
and not just to the person.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I wonder if we should, instead of not, this is after the fact, but instead of nominating you, should we just change it to the CAO?
No, BESC insists that there's a name attached to the title.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good, thank you. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to item new business, 6.1, library board appointments.
just to move that Jean Harabic and Christine Madge are gonna be appointed to the library, board for a period of 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
I'll move that we appoint Christine Madge for a period of 3 years and Jean Rabbit for a period of 1 year.
Okay,
In case that changes in the organization.
yes. Okay.
Mr.
I'll
Mayor,
second that.
can you folks speak up a little bit more?
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
please, yes, please,
Indoor
louder.
voices,
Louder.
please.
Okay.
Outside voices.
Okay.
Outside voices.
Thank you. We'll try and do that.
Thanks, yelling at your grandkids' voices. That's right. Get off that chair.
Okay, all in favor?
Second.
I
Oh,
second
pardon?
it.
Yeah, I thought you did, yeah.
Yep, I did.
How are we doing there, Jessica? Still good? Perfect, thank you. Okay, the next item, 6.2, is appointment of legal counsel. We think that we require Alberta Council to be a part of our legal council for MGA items. So I will move that motion that we appoint them as our counsel for us. There is no extra fees when we do
No.
that,
There's no cost.
no cost to do that.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Item 6.3, RFD for SDAB as and ARB appointments, which are subdivision and development appeal board and intermunicipal assessment review board appointments.
So do you wanna hear the whole, background, or do
No,
we
I-
simply accept these two people, and if there's questions, then we'll.
Okay, yeah, if there's, yeah, we'll make the motion and then if there's any questions, then we
Okay.
can,
So it's, the recommendation is that council approve the following reappointments to the intermunicipal subdivision and development appeal board and the intermunicipal assessment review board. Brent Kukalak, probably saying his name wrong, term expires March 31, 2026, and Brad Ray, term expires March 31, 2026.
okay, anybody wanna make that motion?
I'll move that we continue with our current appointments.
Okay,
I'll second that.
any discussion or any questions with regards to it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay, the next item up is 6.4, RFD for the CAO contract.
So on February 21, 2023, at the regular meeting, there was a resolution made that Julie Brownridge was appointed by council as the interim CAO for the village of Ryley. Also at the same meeting, resolution 2023-02-21, number 36, direction was given to present the interim CAO's contract at the next regular meeting. So council can choose to approve the contract as presented, or they may choose to approve the contract as amended.
Okay, everybody has had a chance to review the contract. Any questions or?
Did we add the motion number was on there?
We don't know what the motion number is until after the meeting, so we will be adding it to the contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Also move that we accept the contract as presented with the motion number.
I will second that. Any questions or anything? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay. 6.5, RFD for preschool options. Julie?
All right, oh, there we go.
Holy cow, that's a delight.
Any hands made light work.
That's big light work, yeah. I'm old enough and half blind, I needed the light. So this is, the purpose of this request is to discuss options regarding the location of our preschool. On June 1, I've got 2023 here, but I think it's 2022.
Yes, it is.
On June 1, 2022, the preschool was given notice that their lease was up at the location they were meeting in and haven't been able to run the program for all of last year. The board meets at the coffee shop or someone's house. The preschool board applied for a grant from Beaver County in the amount of $2,500 for new tables and chairs and a sand water table, and had mentioned that they would apply to the village of Ryley for a matching grant. For the moment, the preschool has been told that they can find a space in Ryley School, but this is not ideal. However, this gives a little more time for the village to find a permanent solution. The recommendation from an administration is that we make it a priority to gather information, ideas, and suggestions from council and the public at large in order to make a concrete plan to provide a suitable space for our preschool. Administration will research the viability of these suggestions and the availability of funding in a timely manner. Also, it has been suggested that a building be bought or built so as to house more than just the preschool. For example, a youth group or after-school program. Administration should take this into consideration as they are doing their research into viable solutions for the preschool. Also, administration recommends that we match the grant from Beaver County in the amount of $2,500 to help this preschool set up in their new temporary location. So the alternatives are, council may choose to approve direction to administration as presented, or to approve the direction to administration as amended. They can approve the matching grant in the amount of $2,500, or they can choose to not approve the grant. If they do choose to choose a grant, the amount of $2,500 would come out of GL 2-1191, those donations to community groups, which has a budget of $15,000.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just in conversation earlier, it's my understanding that the Holden School is going to house a preschool there, starting in September.
Okay, so is that the same as ours, or is that different?
I'm not sure if that would be the same.
It's open to all of Beaver County.
Our schools kind of
Yeah.
mesh.
Well, that could be presented as one of the options that the administration can look at.
Yeah, if they can, if they give us a little bit of room, yeah. But why is it not, our school not feasible or not recommended?
When I was talking to one of the ladies that does the preschool, she was just saying that it isn't ideal because of the space is not ideal. It's nice to have it there, but the space is not ideal. I really don't know much more than that.
Can we get them to come in and present?
Sure.
At the next meeting, yeah, that would,
Absolutely,
yes, go ahead.
absolutely.
Is there a reason that the ATV building can be utilized for something like that? Or is there something urgent?
Cost.
Cost.
Cost, yeah.
Or who's paying for that now?
ATV.
ATVs.
We have not, that's another item, I guess we should make,
Yeah, well, these are all suggestions that should
Yeah.
be brought forth to administration to
because
consider.
the ATV has not given us the building yet because of the costs, and we didn't like their agreement. You know, although they did want to give it to us, but restrictions.
We'll go forward with maybe more discussions.
Yeah, so, yeah, not to say that we won't take the building, but I think that we just need a lot more discussion with the ATV.
I'd kinda like to know what is viable, like what size of building they're needing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And of course, we know they need a facility for washrooms and such, but
yeah.
is there anything that I think we'll sit down and have that conversation
Yeah.
after about what is viable
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
maybe is in town? that we
And
can-
and the suggestion that they come as a delegation to give us all an idea of what they need, then
Yeah.
administration can really move forward in finding the.
yeah, and then go back to ATV and say,
Yeah.
okay, what do we, you know, this is what we have.
Mhm.
you know.
As a, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we need a motion now to just, approve the grant, is that correct? Okay.
Well, we have to approve the direction to administration first, and then
Okay.
We're gonna move that as presented, correct? I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Is that for the grant?
The first one, the first one.
Yeah, 1.1.
What is your recommendation?
1.1.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I will second that. My next question is, all in favor? Carried. My next question is that if we approve the matching grant of 2,500, what does that leave us in the, in our charitable budget, our donations budget? Do we have any idea, or have there been any money donated out of that yet? None?
No.
Okay.
And we only have a temporary interim budget right now too, so.
Yeah, okay,
But so far, nothing has come out, so.
okay.
Is the budget 1,500, 15,000?
15,000.
15,000.
can we have that corrected on there, please? Down further?
This one here? 2,500?
Nope, down, I'm just seeing Rick's.
Go down a
No
little
further?
more. It's right at the bottom.
Yeah, right at the
Funding?
bottom.
No, it's
It's
not.
just an RFD.
It's in the RFD.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, it's,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
It needs to be corrected from 1,500 to 15,000.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, would someone like to make the motion then to, approve the matching grant?
I'll move that we approve the matching grant.
Okay, I will second that. Any questions or any? Okay. Okay, all in favor? Carried. How are we making out, Jessica? We still good?
I think so.
Okay, perfect.
I've got both of those in there, right?
Both motions, yes.
You can take out the one that can choose not to.
Yeah, these can all
Go,
come
go,
up.
go.
Okay. Next item, 6.6, cemetery plot buyback.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
we're questioning how it got changed to 15,000 from 2,500.
Sorry.
No,
No,
the
no, no,
budget
no.
is 15,000.
The
The
budget.
budget
Does it
is
say that?
down.
Can you bring it back down, please?
Okay, I've got it here.
It says Beaver County in the amount of 15,000 to help the preschool to set up.
Oh.
Oh.
sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure the preschool would love it if you left it like that. Thank you for
Thank you,
noticing
sir.
that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so next is the plot buyback.
All right, so the village, the purpose of this RFD is for the village of Ryley to approve the purchase of two cemetery plots, Block 5, plots 7 and 8. The background is that the family purchased these plots in 2006 and have since moved out of the area to be near family. They no longer require these plots and have requested that the village buy back these plots at the purchase price of $325 each. According to the Alberta Cemeteries Act, resale of plot to owner of cemetery can be done if the owner of a cemetery sells a plot for burial site and prohibits its resale on the open market, and if the purchaser of the plot offers to sell the unused plot back to the owner of the cemetery, the owner of the cemetery shall purchase the plot and pay a purchase price calculated in accordance to the regulations. Now, according again to the Alberta Cemeteries Act, general regulations, the calculation of the resale price for the purpose of section 25 of the Act, the purchase price of a lot shall be an amount representing at least 85% of the market value of the plot at the date of resale. So in accordance with that Act and regulations, the village shall purchase the plots back at least $297.50, which is 85% of the current price of $350. The request is for the purchase price of $325 per plot. So council may choose to purchase the cemetery plots at $325 per plot for a total of $650, or the council may choose not to purchase the cemetery plots at $325, and that should have said, but instead of $297.50, sorry, for a total of for whatever 297.50 times 2 is. Sorry about that. We do recommend, though, that the village purchase the cemetery plots at a requested price of $325 per plot. The $650 will be taken from GL 156410, cemetery plot sales, which now has $2,800 in plot revenues.
Any questions? Any comments? Okay, then could I have someone make a motion for one of those items?
I'll move that we purchase back the plots at a price of $225 per plot.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Anyone want to buy a plot?
Yeah.
okay, all in favor? Carried. So we'll make arrangements with this person?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Could administration ask for a little break of 10 minutes or so? I've realized that I'm missing something in my package that I need to get to move forward.
Okay, we will take a recess at 7:44 and be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no more.
7:55, thank you. Before?
I was going by our passport, so I stopped.
All right.
It's not,
And the next item is Summerfest.
All right. So the purpose of this RFD is to discuss the upcoming plans for the 2023 Summerfest. Ryley Summerfest, formerly known as Sports Day, has been a part of summer in the village of Ryley for more than 20 years. Before 2022, the village had a staff member that was responsible for organizing this event. Administrative changes in 2022 meant that there was no longer someone on staff qualified to organize this event. So an event coordinator, Paul Smith, was hired to help organize several events in Ryley. In view of the success of this event in 2022, administration would like to hire Paul again this year to help organize Summerfest. The recommendation is that council directs administration to contact Paul Smith and begin a plan to assure that Ryley will hold its Summerfest in 2023. Council may choose to give this direction to administration as presented, or council may choose not to give this direction to administration as presented. The cost of funding. The budget for this event, including the work of Paul Smith, the Campbell's train, the inflatables, fireworks, and other necessary expenditures to make this event a success, will not exceed the actual expenditure of 2022, which was in the amount of $25,000. This amount will come from GL 27511, which has a budget of $25,000.
Okay, any discussion? Yes, go ahead, Liz.
That seems like a lot. Or, what is the 2021, oh, I'm sorry, that was
Yeah.
COVID times, but 2019?
Around 16,000. And that's because we have an administration staff in administration, so the cost of hiring someone to do these. I may point out though that Paul Smith feels that it would be an advantage to the village of Ryley for him to train someone to do that. You know, that's something that we can look at our budget to maybe hire a staff member to do these events instead of hiring Paul all the time. But I really and truly feel that if we don't hire him, we don't have Summerfest.
In regards to the 2019, we had a council of people that were made up of residents of Ryley to put on the summer program, whatever you will. We didn't have Paul Smith.
No, but we had a staff member that organized it all.
To get a group of people together in the village office, have one of the village people phone, put it out, like, I don't see why we need a person who costing us more money to do something that we used to do on our own.
I understand that, you know, totally, but
But an event
if
of
you want,
that magnitude is really hard to do unless you have an organizer. I'm not saying a paid organizer, but an organizer of some kind, and right at the moment, I can't think of anybody that would volunteer to do it all.
it's a big project. It takes a lot of man hours and a lot of time to put it all together. Let's go ahead and see.
Could you explain the 25,000 is not just for Paul Smith?
Oh, no,
That
no, no.
encompasses the
That's for
inflatables and the
everything.
fireworks and everything that's, okay, so it's not just going to.
No.
No, absolutely not. That's for the fireworks, which are, you know, which we have probably one of the best
You know how much
displays. we have.
fireworks are, don't you?
It is my understanding that there are local, I don't wanna say boards, but societies that own their own inflatables, such as the Town of Viking and Beaver Emergency Services Commission. Is there a possibility of us contacting them?
Absolutely.
I'm open to suggestions, absolutely.
I did not know that they had their own
I think
inflatables.
that's an extraordinary amount of money for us to put out for, I'm sorry. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, but if you paid $16,000 in what,
16, or 19.
2019.
2019, I mean, I know things go up, and you can't do things that cheaply anymore, but there are other options, like you say, we could check into this, and pay it
Oh,
all.
I'm open to suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But we still need somebody to coordinate it,
We do,
you know, and I know I don't have the time to do that because I'm gonna be ready to fly.
can we have a sit down with Mr. Smith and
Oh,
get exactly what, and maybe there's a couple things that we did last year that
And
maybe.
he loves working with volunteers too, like he
Yes.
likes it when volunteers take things off of his plate so that he can, you know, not charge us as much because the volunteers are doing the work. I know there was 2 in particular last year that he felt it was invaluable to have in there, so.
Right, and I was gonna say, that's part of the conversation that we should probably have with Paul, because I think that to get the proper bang for a buck.
Yeah.
He will be the guy that may tell us that this part didn't work, that part did.
Yeah.
So we can zoom in whenever.
Yeah.
Next meeting,
Sure. Does the current GL number exist? Or is
Yes.
it a newly created account?
No, it should exist.
I don't see it in our financials.
Should be there.
it went under,
275.11 in the fresh account.
275.10, okay.
Yep, this one says 275.11. Your RFP.
Oh,
Kind of.
275, I am so sorry, it is 210, yeah,
okay.
sticky fingers.
Thank you.
Can I ask how much the fireworks works itself is? You don't know?
I don't know, no.
We haven't done a breakdown of that at all.
Well, just because back in the day, I mean, when Vince did the Main Street Festival, it was, we relied on organizations to do their part. You know what I mean? So that if you get different organizations, each manning and doing something,
Yeah.
then,
But we still, at the end of the day, we still, Oh my God. So sorry. We have.
I understand it takes the
Yeah.
coordination.
That's what we need this year, is we need a
But
coordinator,
yeah.
and we're gonna be training somebody. And, you know, spread the word that we're gonna be looking for somebody to look after these henceforth. And we will be training them this year, so that we can utilize them next year, and, you know, not that we aren't gonna pay them, but we aren't gonna have the training costs
And that
associated.
is excessive to me, you know, that dollar amount seems excessive. We used to, when we put it on, and we relied on them, we got donations, say, from the bank and from different people, plus the organizations, and what we got from the village of Ryley was $2,500. And had to fight for that. You know what I mean? So,
That was 40
when
years
I,
ago.
no, it wasn't, but when I'm thinking $25,000, that's like blows me away.
Yeah, no, I'm taking into consideration
ahead.
all the suggestions.
I would like to, table this or defer it to the next meeting until we have more information.
Okay, we can do that, and yes,
Deanna's already taken the course, and she's one of the ones that was working with him last year. But she's been taking a course this last year on organizing and.
Event planning, yeah.
yeah.
Event planning.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention her name, but I think she should be named. That is one of the people that Paul really wants to work with, and he was thrilled when I told him that she was taking the event planning.
Yeah.
He thinks she has so much potential.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion for that?
Make a motion to defer this until the next meeting.
Okay. Sean, second?
Yep, I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. And that in the next month, we'd like to have a discussion with maybe both Deanna and Paul.
Yeah.
Bring them both in, you know, one by Zoom, and bring one in. We can do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Put that for the next meeting for sure.
Okay. We'll see if we can save some costs on that. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Next item is the Claystone construction notice that they've given us.
So, the purpose of this RFP is to discuss the upcoming project by Claystone related to the tributary of Vinyl Creek. Claystone has a project that involves rerouting the tributary on Claystone property and redirecting flow on a portion of village property. The project has been in the design stage since 2017, and the village of Ryley has been previously notified. A Water Act approval has been issued for this work, and Alberta Environment and Parks has been notified. Construction is anticipated to begin summer of 2023, and any disturbed land will be returned to its original condition. I talked with a former Public Works employee who is very familiar with this project, and he has assured me that there is no concerns with giving Claystone the approval with going ahead with this planned project. The recommendation is that council directs administration to inform Claystone of the village's approval of the project.
Where's Bible Creek tributary?
That,
Did
that
you
should
see
be,
the plans?
Well, I looked on the map and it doesn't make any sense to
because
me.
it's dry 95.
Oh, it's not, okay. But I think I know where it used to be. Okay.
They've relocated it once before,
Yeah.
and now they need to relocate it again because, you know, because of the proposed business that they're bringing in. So,
Does that, when you say they're gonna be doing something on village property as well, is that gonna help with any of our water issues we're having getting it out of town?
No.
No?
It's just gonna direct the flow of the flow has always been going north when we
Oh, okay.
drain, and now it's gonna go
Go
south
south,
when we drain.
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and there's no cost to the village, by the way, it's all
Right.
covered by Claystone.
I'll move that we give the direction to administration as presented.
Okay, that's Cindy.
I'll second that.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? Carried. financial reports. I know we just got them. You can't really approve them unless somebody.
No, you gotta,
Yeah,
You prefer your, for you, and you can say what you think at the next council?
yes,
Mhm.
absolutely, and we'll have probably March,
Yeah.
end of March ready there also, okay.
Sure.
And we'll also have, hopefully, 2022.
We'll see. We're meeting with the auditors next week, so
Okay.
I will have an answer, a better answer next week.
Okay. Just want to have a quick peek on that.
And the auditor will be done in time this year, it's in November.
that would be a bonus.
Yeah,
I'll move that we defer the financial reports.
okay. And if you find any questions or anything else, please just give an email to Ms. our CEO and, address everybody on it.
We defer them to the next meeting.
Yes.
Instead of the next regular meeting, if there's happens to be one in between.
Yeah, we could do that. The next meeting.
The next meeting.
Next
Next meeting of council.
It's the next meeting. I think he's waited long enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I got some questions on it already.
Yeah.
I see that.
That's
Okay.
all right, digest them and we'll
Yeah.
discuss them for sure.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
It's been like.
Okay.
Who seconded the resolution, sorry?
Oh,
I did.
no.
Yep.
And at the next meeting, they will be made public and we'll have something on the internet or on the website.
Yeah, as soon as they're approved, they can go on the
Yeah.
website.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I just mention something and it's on me? I'm noticing that we don't have open mic on the agenda. And I'm just wondering if there's any folks that would like to speak because they haven't had a chance.
Yes, we can do that. And we can do that now before we go on to, that's in correspondence before we went to. Is there anybody that would like to address council?
Can I just add this in? Regarding,
The flowers?
stage,
Regarding what?
sports stage.
Oh, sports day, okay.
Sorry, I scribbled.
No, that's okay. Did you want this read Annette? Yeah, I can read that, so, it says, could members of the
Various.
various, sorry, or actually, you have a good handwriting. Could members of the various organizations in Ryley, i.e. the Legion, the Lions Club, the Sunshine Club, the school, etc., be invited to a meeting with administration and the council to see if the various organizations would be willing to take an active role in planning various aspects of Sports Day, preferably prior to this item being brought up at the April council meeting. We'll certainly take it into consideration. Yeah.
Great idea,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, anything, yes, go ahead.
I just have a question. Thing is, the last council meetings have been run so much faster and smoother. And there's 3 councillors. Have you guys considered the option to go down to 3 councillors as a village of Ryley? I know you need municipal approval and all of that, but is that something that you guys would consider looking at to save our village a lot of extra costs?
Okay. Yeah, we will take that, we won't even voice our opinion.
No, we'll just take it
But
under consideration.
we will take it under consideration, we have discussed it already, but no decisions at this point in time, it's just, we just so much.
Well, I know under the circumstances that it can't be done, there are 5 right now, and I understand that. But I'm just thinking, I know the workload is more severe, but then committees like, there's so many committees that could be, thrown back. Commissions, of course, you need to stay on, but there are committees that don't necessarily have to have a counselor, and they could have the representative from those societies or other organizations, give monthly reports, right? So there are ways that it could all be looked at, because I realize the burden, we're not asking you to have that much more burden on yourself. Just if you consider the whole picture.
Yeah, definitely.
We will have that
Yeah, I'll have that discussion for sure.
again.
Again.
Okay, anything else that anybody else would like to?
I have a question regarding how to put this accusation of financial malfeasance that happened about 16 or 17 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what the village has found, or council has found, if anything, that supports that.
Yeah, we can't, at this point in time, we cannot discuss it, but I'm hoping to have some solutions or answers.
No,
better yet.
there's still legal aspects to it, we
But yeah,
cannot speak.
as long as it's
That's,
legal.
that's part of the reason why I'm asking, because it worries me that we're gonna be paying more money for this. Again.
We're trying to shorten or reduce the amount of money that we're spending, you know, that's all I can tell you right now. Anything else? If nothing, oh, sorry.
I had 2 points, 2 questions I wanted to ask. I know that it is an open mic and that I can voice my questions, but I don't expect answers to them. But the one question was about the building across the road that was supposed to be an incubator, and then was changed to FCSS, and then was under renovations and to be sold. I'm just wondering what's going on with that. And the second one was about the preschool and the ATV. I was thinking that the ATV building would be best served as the library, and possibly the FCSS incorporated into that building as well, and then the old library could be used as the preschool building. Just an idea, because the preschool would end up paying for the utilities on the building and possible rent on the building that would offset the cost to the ATV building.
Thank you for the
Yes.
suggestion.
Just to give you an idea about the ATV building, we normally would collect $10,000 a year on taxes on that building. In addition to the $10,000, these are all things that we're looking at. In addition to that, it costs about $15,000 a year on maintenance. That does not include utilities. So we're already at $25,000 a year that somebody has to really pick up, you know, or however, and that's one of the issues that we're talking about, how we're gonna deal with that. With
Part of the
ATV.
plan of administration though is to see if we can get some funding, some
Yeah.
grants or some funding to get this going.
Yeah, and the other thing, no matter who uses that ATV building, it's going to need renovation. You know, so that's another cost in there, so we have to, you know, if we decide to take it, then we gotta make sure that we've got all our costs and what it's gonna cost, because you're the ones that are gonna pay for it, you know? And right off the bat, $10,000 off your tax notice, off the taxes is pretty substantial. You know, so, lots to look at for that.
Good ideas.
Yes,
Awesome
absolutely,
ideas.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the incubator's building is for sale as far as, or it was, I don't know, yeah. Whether it was pulled off the market or not, I don't
I don't think so.
know. Okay. Okay, with that being said, our next items is, in camera. And there will not be any motions made from our in-camera session. So just to let everyone know that we aren't going to be making motions, so when we come out of camera, we'll probably end the meeting. So, okay. With that said then, I will need somebody to move into in-camera
I'll move that we go into in-camera session.
at 8:16. Okay, I wanna thank everybody for coming tonight. Greatly appreciate it. And, hope to see you at our next council meeting. We love the people. See you guys. It's great to see you guys. Yeah, Sheldon, and all in favor? Carried.